The shortage of accessible mental health care is well documented. The World Health Organization estimates that more than 2/3 of people who need mental health support do not receive it. There are clinician shortages, the costs, the stigma, and the geographic mismatches between need and the supply. Conversational AI has been proposed repeatedly as a partial answer, a low-cost, always available supplement that could extend therapists like dialogue outside formal sessions. The harder question is what makes a model count as therapists like at all? The cadence, the philosophical framing, the willingness to qualify rather than judge, willingness to ask before answering. Generic instruction-tuned language models do not reliably reproduce these features out of the box. So we looked in this project to find if we could take a 3 billion parameter open source language model and adapt it to respond consistently in the voice of a specific person. In this case, we used clinical psychologist Jordan Peterson to try to combine, and then the question is, can we combine that style transfer with a clinical content adapter to produce more therapist sounding outputs than either could alone? We chose Peterson because he's very recognizable worldwide and is a practicing clinical psychologist, which allows the style and therapeutic content to be studied as separate contributions within the same target. And this contribution is a side-by-side comparison of prompt engineering, LoRA fine-tuning, and adapter merging on a single evaluation harness.
Thank you, Jeff. All right, so in here we basically review our pipelines. We have worked together in the overall project in terms of the ideas, and we had our own experimentation to do by ourselves. So here we can find my part, which is basically I have built two adapter merge study. The original transcripts of that we got for Jordan Peterson was about 90,000 words. We have built a persona and a clinical adapters. Both are rank 32 with attention. Also, we have created 6 merge variants. 4 of them are linear and 2 are ties. 9-way comparison and 7 metric with a 17 prompt judge. The headline that we got, the base plus the prompt, got the highest score of 2.81 compared to a base merge, which got 2.33. Jeff, over to you. Can you review your results?
Yeah, I focused specifically on the style transfer part and let Mustafa's model look at both the style transfer and the clinical therapist. So within that context, I decided to use a lot more text, which I could only do by augmenting the existing text. I did a reversal procedure, which assumes the question, assumes the answer is correct, which is the style that we're trying to transfer, and then asked the LLM to generate variations on the questions, paraphrasing it.
Go ahead. Go ahead. No problem.
No, that's actually the most important part. Just move on. We can go.
All right. Sure. Okay, in terms of the model's architecture, so we started with a base model, as we said, with Llama 3P. We have frozen that. Then through Llama, we got to the persona. We used LoRA. We got the clinical LoRA as well. And then we used those 2 models to create the merged adapters. So that's in a very nutshell idea on the architecture, and in future slides we will dive deeper into those. In terms of Jeff's architecture, Jeff, you want to speak about yours?
Yeah, I was using the same basic Llama model. I had a little bit higher quantization because I have more memory. It was running up to 16 gigabytes sometimes, depending where it was in the training and how large sometimes Jordan Peterson can be very long-winded, and that takes more memory when it's in that part of the data. And the LoRA adapter I used with the rank 16. And the trainable parameters, 9 million is not bad, but given the amount of data we had, it tended to overfit. So that's an ongoing concern for future. This was just, as mentioned before, one model based on style transfer. And the system prompts were extremely simple. It was basically the question or the other person's comment. And it didn't, the prompt didn't have anything more than that.
Thank you, Jeff. Okay, in terms of the data that we used, we actually dive deeper into that part. So for the persona adapter, we have used in total about 125,000 words. which came out of 6 podcast interviews. We have got the transcriptions of those. Also, we have worked with the lectures. Specifically, is half of maps. Sorry, I mean maps of meaning. The name of the lectures, and we took half of that to the persona adapter. The other half went to the clinical adapter, which had about 120,000 words, and empathetic dialogues as well, with subsample of 2,000 words. We have not done any augmentation. Compared to Jeff, you will see now he has done that part, and we held out a diary of a CEO data with 17 different questions that we needed to answer in JP style. Jeff, you would like to talk about your data?
Yeah, I did not use any lectures. It was all conversations and interviews. And I used more of those interviews, but that still wasn't nearly enough data, I felt, to get me the style transfer levels I was hoping for. So as mentioned before, I used data augmentation to greatly expand that. I think it generated equivalent, rough equivalent of 2 books in that text. But then that created a challenge for me to make sure there was no data leakage when splitting out the data between training and test and validation. Earlier versions, I actually had a history of conversation, but that wasn't possible with all the data augmentation, and it also made it really difficult to keep the data leakage out. So I went to the simpler model of just a question answer, single question, single answer. And there was extensive work to make sure with all the augmentation that there wasn't data leakage between the test data, validation data, and the training data.
Thank you. Okay, in terms of the evaluation matrix that we have used, so I have used 7 metric suite, of course, perplexity and type token ratio, length KL divergence, and function word x squared, signature phrase recall, of course, and ROG 1 and 2, plus the final judge was GPT-4o, that handles the 17 prompts that came from the CEO diary, and answering those questions with the style of Jordan Peterson. Jeff?
Yeah, so I started out with a simpler set of metrics, one measuring vocabulary, another measuring the sense and structure, another one for the tone of the output. I didn't originally have a length penalty, but I noticed quickly that LLMs, as you probably know, if you've ever used one, they tend to be very verbose. And even when the original model was supposed to say, like, yeah, it would then generate a paragraph for that. So I experimented with a number of different penalties, both in the training and in the evaluation of the test set. Yeah.
Go ahead. Yep. Okay. So here is a very quick chart that would show we both use the same judge. So we thought that we can bring all our work together in one chart just to see what worked better. So all these numbers are out of 5. As we can see, the base model, the llama model, because we have done like quite lengthy prompt with like the full details about Jordan Peterson in specific, that gave us like the highest number. Although we have very close numbers when it comes to that merged model, of course we use the persona and the clinical, as we said before, to merge in different aspects with different weights for each one of them. So this model also was the best when it comes to the merged models. And that's in general what we have got out of GPT-4o. We see this as a challenge because LLMs are not up to the level that we would like to test on so far, and we think that there is multiple other ways that we could try in the future as the work in progress goes for this project. Jeff, would you like to add any comment?
I spent so many days training so many versions of this model, trying to get style transfer outputs that I thought looked similar to the original. And well, the numbers speak for itself. Not very good. 1.89. There were some actually where I got very close to 1.0, which was the minimum. Yeah, sometimes for those of you who are in the intro to NLP class last semester, remembered homework 5, where no one could get anything out that made any sense, it felt much like that again.
Okay, now here is what we can see that stands out from our project in general. As we said, the base plus prompt wins in front of the judge, which is ChatGPT 4 with the scores that we've seen in the last slide. We also have a fine tuning that improves with very, very narrow style markers, I would say, which scored basically these results. The third point that stands out is the adapter composition is asymmetric. So clinical heavy makes regress below the base of on perplexity. So that's in general what we could find from our experimentation. In terms of both pipelines say the same thing, that's mainly what I have experienced. The best fine-tuned, as we said before, is 2.33. Base plus prompt scored the best, which is 2.81. Jeff, would you like to add on this on your part?
Yeah, not great results.
Yeah, the numbers speak for itself, but still there is a lot of work to go for us on this project as we experiment. Honest critique, I will leave the mic for Jeff on this. Jeff, I think we are a bit 14 minutes right now, so we need to wrap it up.
Yeah, there's definitely some problems. This is not like doing style transfer in some other areas in music, for example, in particular, I can see where it does a great job. The style transfer in LLMs, I think possibly because the LLM is so strong, so heavily trained with so much data, it's really hard to get that super tanker to move, to budge an inch. Whereas if you're using much simpler NLP techniques, you can definitely get style transfer easily. So that's one problem that still to be solved. There's a very interesting article. I definitely recommend it for anyone interested in this area. Catch Me If You Can, Not Yet. LLMs still struggle to imitate the implicit writing styles of everyday authors. Now, it's a quite pessimistic study, but it was a very extensive study. However, even saying that, there were a couple of things that caught my eye in there where there were, under certain circumstances, possibilities to do very good style transfer. And I'm very much looking forward to investigating those ideas and as we continue our research, because this is not just a study for a class project. This is really part of a very important part of what we see as a future startup opportunity, to be honest. So I won't say any more because don't want to let all the secrets out. But there is possibilities, but it's definitely hard.
Definitely. We thought it's easier, but it's not. Okay, in terms of limitations, the limitations part of things, so of course, small evaluation sets that we suffered a lot to get more data to work on. Single base model, single LoRA rank tested, which is what we are capable of right now with the current setup, I would say. Single judge, the GPT-4o, and of course, no actual human to rate the answers that the models created other than us. Of course, we might be biased at this point. Augmentation pipeline still leaks, as we know. 3 of 17 gold samples are interviewer transitions, which created some kind of a chaotic situation. But again, if we had like another week or two, we could actually enhance that much better. But that was a problem that we have discovered. Um, in terms of future work, I know Jeff said a lot, but Jeff, would you like to go through that?
Just one intriguing hint. We evaluated using an LLM how good the quality was, and it gave us a number, a single digit. Compared that with what you might be able to ask the LLM to do in making a comparison. And I'll let you think about what that might be for hints at how to solve this problem. I definitely will be
100%.
researching that.
100%. And that's it from us. Thank you very much. We appreciate it, and we look forward for meeting all our TAs and our professor in future courses. Jeff,
Thank you.
thank you very much.
Adios.